Hi folks, welcome back to the Model 3 Man channel. Well, I hope you've all recovered from that marathon video that I uploaded yesterday, which was, of course, the installation of powered struts or powered tailgate in Model 3, and it ran to 45 minutes. Then again, Electric Garage had one that was an hour and 12 minutes long, so I was definitely not the longest by any stretch of imagination. But listen, if you managed to get through it, congratulations. For those of you who skipped a little bit here and there, I understand. But today is another in the Tip of the Day series. We're on episode number 43. Yes, we are. 43. I wanted to deal today with a topic that many people have a mistaken idea of. And here's the thing that people often say. If I have a Tesla, there is no maintenance that I have to do. There's no maintenance on a Tesla. Really? Well, that would be wonderful, because if I can buy something, my guitar, and say there's never going to be any maintenance, that would be a wonderful guitar. My guitar has strings that wear out and break if I play a lot. My guitar has frets that actually get grooves in them with a lot of playing, and over time the fretboard surface actually wears because my fingers cause indentations. And I've had the guitar in 2, maybe 3 occasions where they've had to skim the fretboard, they put new frets in, put new strings in. Everything needs maintenance. Our Model 3s require maintenance. A lot? Frequently? No. Thankfully, no. So what are we required to maintain in a Model 3? What should we be keeping up with? Well, again, the manual is the place to go. If I've done anything in these Tip of the Days, I hope it's been to encourage you to go to read that manual, to spend time with it, to get to know your car. People fall into 2 different camps. Those who read every word on the pages. And they read it, they imbibe it, they swear by it, and they know it. And those who've never cracked open the manual ever. So I think those of us who think that there is no maintenance in the Model 3 would do very well to look at what the manual tells us. There is an important paragraph that prefaces everything to do with servicing, and it's this: your vehicle should generally be serviced on an as-needed basis. I like the sound of that. However, Tesla does recommend the following maintenance items and maintenance intervals as applicable to your vehicle to ensure continued reliability and efficiency in your Model 3. In other words, they're not saying there's no maintenance. They're saying there is some, and you should pay attention to the schedule for these items. Let's have a look at them. Number 1, we should do a brake fluid health check once every, it says 2 years. So under normal driving conditions. Now, from many years of ownership of regular cars, things that can go wrong with the fluid include leaks, air getting into the fluid, or water getting into the brake fluid, all of which make it less reliable as a mechanism for stopping your car. So every 2 years, have the health of the brake fluid checked and replaced if necessary. It's not an expensive item. In the air conditioning unit, there is a bag of what's called DESSICANT, and DESSICANT removes moisture, water vapor, liquids. And so how frequently must that be replaced or changed? Well, it says every 6 years. That really does kind of feel like no maintenance at all for many people who keep a car for 6 years or less. Number 3, the cabin air filter. Now, note, this is not the HEPA filter that will filter the air in the event of a nuclear explosion. This is the cabin filter which all cars tend to have nowadays. Every 2 years. Then there's one that really does apply more to us cold weather dwellers, Canada, British Columbia. Clean and lubricate the brake calipers. If you drive in locations where there is a lot of salt used on the roads to prevent ice. You're going to need to lubricate and clean the calipers once every, here it says every 12,500 miles, or approximately 20,000 kilometers, to counteract the effects of salt on the roads during those winter months. I think that's fair. Mine was done at 20,000 kilometers, and as I'm coming up towards 40,000 K, I'm going to make sure that they are done again. Tire rotation is something we experience no matter what car we own, and tire rotation is scheduled here at every 10 to 12,000 miles, which translates to every 16,000 to 20,000 kilometers. The tires are rotated. Why? For example, my car is a rear-wheel drive Model 3. That means the rear tires will wear faster than the front tires. So if we rotate them frequently, the ones that are incurring more wear on the back will move to the front, and they'll incur less wear and tear. And then the ones that were on the front before are going to the back, and so we'll balance out the wear and tear on the tires. That makes sense. The other time that we would rotate is if the difference in the tread depth is greater than 2/32, 1/16 of an inch. That will be a good metric to use to decide whether to rotate your tires. Now, listen to the qualifying paragraph for all of this. Note, it says, the above intervals for all of the items we've discussed here are based upon normal driving behaviors and driving scenarios. In other words, your type of driving style and the driving conditions in which your car finds itself. The above list should not be considered comprehensive, and it does not include consumable parts like the windshield wipers or brake pads. Those are consumables. They're going to wear out eventually. Although, when we come to brake pads, I do have to caution you. If we're using regenerative braking a lot, the brake pads get very little opportunity to be used and worn, and that is equally not good for the rotors and the brake pad surfaces. So from time to time, use your brakes, press hard on the brake pedal, allow the brake pads to do some of the work, just so that they get normal wear and tear. In all likelihood, you still won't need to change your brake pads for 5, 6, 7 years at the least. Then it does say, damage caused by maintenance or repairs carried out by a non-Tesla mechanic, shop, service center are not covered under warranty. Now, obviously, every manufacturer says this about everything to do with their product because they want to lock you in. Here's the age-old question. Should we go to Tesla, even if they're more expensive, and spend more money on servicing our car just because they're Tesla? No, I don't think we should do things out of obligation. I do think we should do things because we choose of our own free will to want to support Tesla operations and make sure that they can run at a profit so that they will continue to be the great car manufacturer that they are and be able to go on and expand. We're grateful to Tesla, and I think the least we can do is to allow them to service our vehicles and to pay money to them. If it's exorbitant, that's a different question. Let me give you an example of a service charge I received. I asked Tesla to book me in to have my tires rotated. 32,000 K, that was due for the next rotation. And you know what they did? They sent one of the mobile technicians out to my home, at which place they rotated all 4 tires. They performed a warranty check. They replaced 1 or 2 items that were normal. They detected that they were in need of replacement. All of that was under warranty. What was the charge? 92 or 93 Canadian dollars. Is that exorbitant? How long did it take them to come from Vancouver to my home in North Vancouver? How long did they spend on the job here? Well, I would never have done it for $93, let alone them. Is that a fair amount? You bet it is. As long as Tesla plays fair with us, I think we have an obligation to use their service centers, to use their replacement parts. As long as they're not taking us for a ride, I'm happy to do that. And what about other major items? For example, monthly check. Washer fluid, yep, we should check that. We would check that anyway, no matter what car we have. Check that the air conditioning system is working normally. Of course, we should do that. What about battery coolant? Do we ever have to replace the battery coolant? Here's what the manual tells us. Your battery coolant does not need to be replaced for the life of your vehicle under most circumstances. The life of your vehicle. Any damage caused by opening the battery coolant reservoir is excluded from the warranty. We don't need to replace that fluid under normal conditions. Unless we discovered it was leaking, that would be different. These are not magic chariots, although they often feel like that. They're just cars that have moving parts and wear and tear. So it's up to us to understand, and if you're looking at your manual, we're reading from page 162. Go back there and check these things out and ask yourself, have I been following this very light, easy-going maintenance schedule? Go and remind yourself what needs to be done. Then go to your app, check your mileage. Are you coming up toward any of these maintenance schedule deadlines? And get it done. Thanks again for putting up with yesterday's super long episode. And for those of you that are going to install or want to install the powered tailgate, don't forget, Model 3 MAN is the code, the coupon code that you put in. So for today, that's all. I'll see you again tomorrow. Look after yourself. Take care of your car. Take care of its maintenance. And we'll see you again for tip number 44 tomorrow. Cheers for now.